Hi Stampers, I'm Lori Helvig with Lori's Stampin' Creations and welcome to my weekly YouTube video. So on Saturdays I try to do basically a catalog case, and I switch it up to be kind of like the catalog and kind of not. So that's what I come up with my Switcharoo videos, and I like to call it SU Switcharoo. So tonight we're going to feature the tropical dies and the tropical stamp set that was in the mini catalog here that I think it got done the end of June, or the first part of June, and it carried over into the annual book. So I'm going to show you the stamp set and the matching tropical dies in just a couple minutes. But anyway, I do thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, and maybe you're seeing this on my blog also. Either way, I try to do this once a week. So without further ado, I'm going to switch the camera and we'll get started with our SU Switcharoo. Hang on, please. Okay, hopefully you can see my fingers okay. We'll carry on with the annual catalog. So like I said, I like to do a catalog case. And the card that I'm showing you today is on page 37. And it's actually not a card in the book. It's this Stampin' Up! Made like a banner, like a little wall hanging decor. And I'm going to use the general layout of this and make a card. So I've got a lot of it done ahead of time, and then I'm just going to basically glue it together here in just a couple minutes. But like I said, I switched it up to make it my own, so we'll leave this right here. If you have a catalog, you can turn to page 37 and you can kind of follow along. I'll get rid of this sticky note here. Okay, so like I said, we're featuring the Timeless Tropical that carried over from the last mini catalog. And then I use the Tropics dies, and the ones that are sticking up here I use the top of the pineapple and then the bottom of the pineapple and a couple leaves and then this flower. So I stamp the image and then cut out some leaves, and you'll be able to see the flower when I pull that up, how I colored it with Poppy Parade Stampin' Blends. So these are the dies, and like I said, these, let's see, 5 at the top here. That's what I used on the card. Now, I did want to feature something else out of the book. I want to show you what I did. If you get a little closer look here, you can see that they brayered that background, and so I did that on my card as well, but I needed a template to be able to do that. And on page 152, you can see these Forever Gold laser cut specialty paper. Real pretty gold foil pieces and parts that you can use on your cards. And the pattern I used is right there by my thumb. And I will show that up close and personal. If you can see that very well. Okay, this is the gold side, and when I did my sponge brayering, I actually did it on the back, and I used crumb cake ink. So this starts out as white, if you can kind of imagine this, okay? So you have several options. So these foil, obviously they're gold foil, so you can use the, I don't know how good you can get a camera shot here, but this is the gold foil side, or these images use white, so you can just have your white image on your cards. And or you can brayer it. Now in this case, you could these leaves could be brayered in green, but I did mine, like I said, I used crumb cake, and this started out white, and then the template, which I can use this template on another card, but this has been sponged, brayered with the crumb cake ink. So without further ado, I will show you the pattern that I came up with. Okay, this is actually, my card is going to have 2 layers. Okay, so I've got your card base, that is the crumb cake. I started to glue this together earlier. See my little boo-boo there of my ink, my adhesive, but I wanted to show it apart first, have it separate, and then I'll glue it together here in just a minute. Okay, so like I said, the card base is crumb cake, and then the layer that I did my brayering on by using that template. So I went ahead and brayered all the way to the edge, and of course my template was right there in the middle, and you come up with this cool background, just like they did in the catalog picture. Okay, so that's going to get glued on there. And I will go ahead and do that right now that you can see that you've already seen it up close and personal. Okay, I've got my adhesive going over here. I should give you something to look at. You can look at the tropical dies and the tropical stamp set. And I will adhere this layer together. Like I said, 2 layers of crumb cake. And so there's my card. And I am not going to put a verse on this. This is just going to be something that I can put a sentiment on later when I actually send it to somebody. But if you go back to the catalog, okay, let me see here. On page 37, I lost my spot because I took my sticky note off. Okay, so I did not do this layer of vanilla, and I did not do this layer of blue. I just basically cased the pineapple itself because I was kind of running out of room. Obviously, this was a bigger wall picture, you know, so it was a bigger size, and I eliminated those 2 layers on my card just for because I didn't have enough space. But there's the card, and then my pineapple I think turned out really, really, really pretty. Okay, so I've got my ribbon on there. I've got my 2 little leaves. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see that. But isn't that nice? And then this is where I use the Stampin' Blends to color that flower in, and I used a glitter enamel dot, and I used a sponge dauber to bring out some ink. I actually used shaded spruce and then soft sea foam, so I brought those 2 shades of green together just by sponging the darker ink on there. And then down here I used the new Bumblebee for the bottom layer, and the top layer is So Saffron. So I will go ahead and glue this part on there. So bear with me just a minute. So it's Saturday night, and I don't know if you've had any time to do stamping today. I've been creating cards most of the day today, so it's been kind of fun for a Saturday to be able, and it rained earlier, so you know, when it was raining I wasn't outside or anything. So I made some cards today, which was totally fun. And this pineapple was one of them that I got together and just didn't, like I said, I didn't put it all the way together because I wanted to do it for you gals to see. Oh, one more. I've got tear and tape on the back of this, so I will peel that off. And we have a pineapple. So this is kind of 3D, where these the die has these little parts that come up and make it, you know, raised up. And then I've got my leaves and my ribbon. Now this ribbon is really, really pretty. It is a brand new ribbon pack in the new catalog. And it's called Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. So the gold trim, the gold metallic trim, I don't know if you can see that very well. In the catalog, they use some of that, but I left this part off of my card. But they did use this together with this vanilla, this real pretty vanilla. Real easy to work with. It's so soft and easy to maneuver. So I just used the vanilla on mine. So what do you think of my card? The crumb cake, and the 2 shades of yellow, and the Poppy Parade, and the shaded spruce, and the soft sea foam. And I'll stick this leaf out here. It might look a little better. But yeah, so that's it. That's my SU Switcharoo. And I will bring the catalog back so you can kind of see my layout that I copied. And don't forget, you can always go to my blog for more stamping inspiration, or you can sign up and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss my weekly videos. But my blog is createwithlori2.blogspot.com, and then just look for Lori Helvig and my YouTube channel and get signed up for that. So I'll see you next Saturday, hopefully, for another SU Switcharoo video. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.